All right, I'm sure you've heard about the recent pet food recalls over the past 2 weeks. Many dogs have died and have gotten sick the result of eating bad food.
I know,
And
it's so sad. So we thought it was time to sit down with Dr. Andrea Dennis from the Bloomfield Animal Hospital to talk about this specific recall and what should we be feeding our pets.
What we learned, it's not so cut and dry, and there are many things you should be considering. Take a look. All right, I'm here with Dr. Andrea Dennis of the Bloomfield Animal Hospital in Bloomfield, Connecticut. We are talking about pet food today.
Yes.
And in the headlines recently, there have been a number of dogs that have died due to tainted food.
Yes.
So we want to kind of get that information out there and let people know what they can look for.
Good.
And what maybe they should be feeding their dogs, etc.
Right.
So tell us first of all about the recall. What happened with that food?
The most recent recall started on was December 30th, and it came through the FDA, but the company it's now considered a voluntary recall because the company, which is Midwestern Pet Foods, they took off some of their foods and certain lot numbers, and we'll talk about lot numbers a little bit later. And then I think Monday, December 11th or January 11th, they upped the recall to make sure that it was all of the foods that had corn in it. And the reason why it's the corn is because they believe it's a mold that's in the corn that's producing this toxin called aflatoxin. It's from a mold called Aspergillus, and this is what's making these dogs very sick. They also make a cat food too, so there's cat food on the list as well.
The good news for us,
The folks here in the Northeast, it's shipped out this way, but it's not one of the more popular foods.
What's the brand called?
It's called Sport Mix.
Sport Mix.
Yes, that's the name of it, and it's they have another one called None Better as well, but it's all different those two names for still this pet food that's come from the Midwestern Pet Food Company.
So Sport Mix and None Better.
Right.
If you have those two brands,
just get rid of them.
Get rid of them.
you can check the lot number on the bag to determine if you have one of these toxic pet foods.
The problem is sometimes when people buy food, they dump it in a container so it stays fresh. So they lose all the evidence of the name of the food sometimes,
right,
and what lot number it is or what the ingredients are.
Dr. Dennis recommends taking a picture of the lot number when you buy your pet food so you'll have it just in case.
Where is the lot number on that?
There's one. You have to search for it. Okay, and that's what so here, I know it's noisy. See that right there?
Oh, there it is.
So you usually look for a date, because if it's the expiration date is on there, you'll find the lot number is now right there. And that's what you want to take a photograph. And it's on everything. It's even on like these little snacks here too.
Want to know if any of the food you have is on the recall list? Head to the web.
I have a list here of some of the most recent recalls that the FDA has done, and you can go online and look it up. Just go to fda.gov and type in pet food recalls, and will get to this website. It's amazing how many different foods, different ingredients that's in the food, like a certain flavor of food, and when it was recalled and why.
We're moving on from recalls to other things you should consider when feeding your pet.
Let's talk about grains and grain-free diets.
Yes, in 2018, we started noticing that some dogs that were eating these grain-free diets.
What's the point of eating a grain-free diet? What do they think is?
I don't see a benefit to it whatsoever, personally. I think it really is partly marketing. I think it's trying to make it something different because some humans couldn't handle certain grains. There was never anything from the veterinary community that was put out there that said grain-free diets are going to be better for you. Okay. And they've been around for a while.
Right.
And we've never recommended it here at our hospital. The issue is when they started seeing something called dilated cardiomyopathy, which is a disease of the heart in breeds that we normally don't see them in. Then they started tracing back and seeing that there was a relationship to these dogs being on grain-free diets.
How about raw diets?
There are a lot of people that believe raw diets are better. If that's what you believe, it's something that you have to be concerned about, is that raw diets are not cooked, and salmonella can be a real issue. And salmonella can make some pets very, very sick. And just when I was doing my research before you and I talked today, there was quite a few recalls with these raw diets.
Because of salmonella.
Because of salmonella was the issue.
So what do you recommend? What What do I feed my dog?
It's so true. There's still really good brands out there. You know, Hills is excellent. Royal Canin, again, those are also good brands. Purina, I know they've been around for a long time. There's several good ones.
And there's always the pet food you can make yourself.
You could make a homemade diet. That's another thing you could do. But do it the right way. Do it with a nutritionist, a veterinary nutritionist, and that you can put something together that's really just quite excellent. And the website I would go to is petdiets.com.
Petdiets.com.
Pet Diets, and it's been around for a while. There is a fee, but you know, people will say, well, I can give them meat and rice and I throw in some carrots. Well, that's not long term. That's not going to be nutritious enough to keep your pet healthy.
So this website will help you, point you in the right direction.
Right.
Dr. Dennis is once again at the Bloomfield Animal Hospital in Bloomfield. You can head to bloomfieldanimalhospitalct.com.
And she's also on News Talk 1080 every other Saturday, I should say, talking about pets as well. So give her a call and ask her some questions.
You know,
there.
it's